I was fired because my personal business was taking over my 9-to-5 job.
Over the past few weeks, some decisions have been made. Today will unfortunately be your last day.
For the last year, I've been trying to run my own agency. My engagement and attention to my 9-to-5 was falling, and the company had started to notice. I was stuck in this endless loop of starting off strong and then falling off, landing me in the same position every time. But I'm seeing this as an opportunity to go all in, and I'm going to be documenting my entire journey from being fired to financial freedom. The goal is to go from $0 to $50,000 a month, and I want to bring you guys along for the journey.
We'll have Ryle be joining here, and then Abby from my team, sort of a growth generalist.
Great to meet you.
Good to see you. I mean, Ben, I'm okay if you just want to get started.
Okay, yeah, if we're happy to get started. So, two things to show today. First one is obviously just the example campaign, and then I'll go into my presentation just kind of outlining our service deliverables, pricing, everything like that. Just something to keep in mind with the presentation example campaign. It's very much just a loose example. I just wanted to give you an understanding of kind of like what our capabilities are. It's not the final finished product. Let me share my screen. This is my software I do all of my prospecting in. It allows us to integrate with AI and other providers via APIs. So obviously our first step is how can we identify companies that are using Postgres currently? Now there's many ways we can do this. First thing we're doing here is just normalizing the company name just to make it as human as possible. There's lots of different campaign strategies we can approach with this. For this example, let's go down the strategy where we're saying, look, why don't you consolidate into one? So this is kind of what I'm playing at here. So what's their existing tech stack? And then I filtered that on the database ones that would be relevant. We've got a lot of information there, great. The next step is, okay, we have these companies, let's find the contacts of these companies we want to reach out to. So we're pulling that data now into our leads table effectively. The next step we're doing here is, I always try and add some like level of personalization, saying, hey, I came across you on my feed, that triggered me to reach out to your company, and then we go into the email there. Just the kind of soft opener and a pattern break where they're like, oh, this guy's done his research, it's not a cold email. So we have all that information now, and that's all going down here. We have our database stack. I've also included a tech count, so how many in total database technologies are they using? And then once we have that information, we can then add that into our campaign. So going into our campaign here, here's where everything kind of pieces together. So here's kind of the final email. Again, this is just an example. There's lots of improvements we can make here, but it gives you a good example of kind of what we would do. So that is the campaign presentation. I'll take a quick pause there if you just had any questions about that, we wanted to discuss anything.
I was going to ask, where do you get the database stack information from?
Sure. So what that's doing is using a company called Predict Leads, which basically goes through on their company domain and finds a tech stack based on a historical job description. So if they've posted on LinkedIn looking for a job and it mentions the tech stack, it basically creates a collection of all of that information, allowing us to find their tech stack.
How many email addresses for our needs? How many different emails are sending these messages?
What I always say is let's start. There's no point buying like 50 email accounts when we don't know what's going to work, right? Start with 15. Start to get our messaging out there, start to get the data back and understand what's resonating, what's working. Once we really start to get, okay, this machine's building, we know this is predictable growth now, then we can just add to that pool of email accounts and increase the results tenfold, however much we want. So we kind of have a predictable way to add more growth. Cool, okay, if that's all the questions for the campaign overview, I'll get into the other presentation. So as I said, we deploy hyper-targeted AI-driven email prospecting. Let's go into, I don't know if you've been on my website, Jonathan, I know we went through this before, but just to give you an example of some of the work we've done with companies in the past. So Splashmetrics, US-based software as a service company, worked with them for 8 weeks, 7,200 contacted, resulting in 565,000 pipeline revenue. And Hotel Port here, one of our latest clients, so 5-week snapshot, contacted 2,300, resulting in 25 leads and 372,000 pipeline revenue. And then finally, this is probably the most in line with your own business, but Main Street DBAs, which is a fractional database administration service, contacted 2,700, 288,000 pipeline revenue. That's a 10-week snapshot. So what's our process? If we were to start working together, what would this look like? First step is always ICP identification and analysis. Once we have a good understanding of what that looks like, we go away and build our list. So this includes scraping websites, just finding the contacts effectively. Once we have the lists and the leads ready to go, the next step is like high conversion copywriting. So With this campaign, I can imagine there's going to be separate different campaigns targeting different things. We can have multiple campaigns running at the same time, kind of like doing testing against different campaign strategies. So we'd get all that set up in the 2-week period. Based on that, we can actually test and get the data back on like, okay, which one is performing best? So we can test that, we can get that data and then continually optimize and refine the campaign to make sure that we're getting the best return on investment. And as I said, there's always a level of AI personalization in the campaigns, just to make sure that it really comes across as a human-to-human approach. The more human we can make it sound, the higher conversion we're going to make it. We're going to make the campaign. So that's a really important step. And then campaign optimizations, effectively, we're just looping back through this. So based on all the data we get after every 4 to 6 weeks, we're looking at the data we've got. Can we make any optimizations? Can we improve the copy? Can we improve the targeting? Whatever it may be, we continually optimize that. Of course, this saves time and money. Many companies employ the sort of default strategy where they just hire a team of SDRs to do prospecting. Very, very expensive, and they're very unaware that there's a better way of doing this. Second to last slide here. So deliverables, as I said, I want to make clear that we do absolutely everything. So up until the point the sales call is booked into your calendar, you don't have to do anything at all. We handle all of that. Finally, pricing here. So monthly cost $3,500 a month. Setup cost is just a $2,000 one-time fee. And then in terms of commission, 5% revenue from the first year from deals sourced from our campaign.
Okay, so no additional cost for us for scraping tools. You're building that into your monthly.
Yeah, that's everything's included. Everything's included with this price.
Okay.
Well, I mean, so that sounds like hundreds of emails a day. Are you doing like a drip sort of strategy, or like how is tell me about how many emails do we send per contact on average?
Yeah, there's a 4-step follow-up sequence. So we send the first email, then we send another email 3 days after that, another one 7 days, and then a final one 7 days after that. So obviously the volume of sending is also taken up by that too.
Do you have any sort of scoring of leads as part of the process, or is it just they have attributes?
Yeah, not really. So like once we define the ICP, we roll with that. And then if we ever obviously update the ICP, once we have a better understanding of like, okay, well this subset of this ICP is performing really well, we just update and pull those batch of leads into the campaigns.
So you said you said that you are responding in email to the emails. Is that actually you personally, or is that your team, or is that actually an AI version of you?
No, that'll be me. Yes, so there'll be nothing sent out that you're not happy with.
I'm down to do this. Yes, let's try it. Seems like a good force multiplier.
Yes, so next step would be I'll put the contract together, send over the payment link. Once that's all done, I'll set up the email accounts. I'll get you into our Slack channel. We'll find a time to do the onboarding call. Once we've got that, I can go away, start getting the strategy together. Ultimately, you guys get the final sign off. I'll send the campaign. You'll say, yeah, that looks great. Really happy with that. Let's go.
This sounds great. Ben, thank you so much for walking us through it. We're excited. You can connect with me. We'll get time set up. I'll include whoever from our side we need, and we'll take it from there.
Great to meet you all. Thank you very much. Have a good rest of the day. Thank you. Bye-bye. So that call went very well. First deal that I've closed on the final call. So very excited about working with that company. They look very good. As I said, their owner was previously the owner of a $3 billion company. So I think based on that, we should be seeing, they've clearly got a good product here, and very excited to work with them, get them into the market. That is their big issue at the moment, is their go-to-market strategy, and I'm very confident I have the solution for that. So yeah, very exciting. Get the contract signed, get that all done, and good end to the year.